One radio station. Kings 88.5 FM. Your station, your voice. Kings 88.5 FM. Your station, your voice. One radio station. Kings 88.5 FM. Your station, your voice. Great.
Hello, hello again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the CDC Hour. The CDC Hour is a 1 hour program that looks into the activities of the Congress for Democratic Change in our country at large. Today is Monday, June 2, 2025. Today is the second day of June 2025, and we are discussing a very important topic here today. Uh, that everyone should be glued, everyone should listen very attentively because the deception in the country is too much. Deception in the government uh, is just too much. Liberians have been made to understand a lot of things which are not really what they are, which are not really what the people expect. Uh, the government of Liberia, uh, a few months back, announced Liberia was contesting a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. So we underscore the word contesting. Uh, as a matter of fact, yes, Liberia is bidding for a a non-permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. Yes, that's true. But how did this issue come about? How did this process come about? Back in 2019, 2020, the government of Liberia, under the administration of President George Manuel, launched a bid for Liberia seat at the United Nations Security Council. A process that was delayed up to 2025. As a matter of fact, the process is tomorrow, June 3, 2025, and that is Liberia is bidding for a seat alongside the Democratic Republic of the Congo as Africa's two representatives to the United Nations Security Council to replace Algeria and Sierra Leone. So that is the process. The government has made us to understand in the last months or so that Liberia is contesting. Liberia is running to be a member of the Security Council, and so Liberia needed to, or Liberia needs to convince a lot of countries to vote for us. We are contesting against different countries for the United Nations Security Council seat, the non-permanent seat, which of course is a lie. Is a blatant lie. It's a black lie intended to siphon resources. As a matter of fact, if you don't know, there has been over 3.5 million United States dollars committed by the government of Liberia of taxpayers' money to the process already. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, alongside the Foreign Affairs Committee at the Liberian Senate, led by Senator Darius DeLon, have already, they have done a lot of travels, dinners. The government has spent over $3.5 million on the process to campaign in what they say to campaign for Liberia's seat at the United Nations Security Council. Uh, that is money, a public money that has gone in vain. The guys have eaten the money. The guys have corrupted the money. As a matter of fact, you don't know that Senator DeLon is one of the most corrupt uh, senators at the Liberian Senate, and so he has presided over the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Senate since the inauguration of President Joseph Numa Boakai. He has been the chairman of Foreign Affairs, uh, and he, alongside with other people from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Breslow Nyanti, and her team at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, have put the government under the impression, or I mean, not the government so much, but they have put the Liberian people under the impression that Liberia needed up to $5 million to get this seat. And so, in response to that, the Liberian government has spent over $3.5 million to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Foreign Affairs Committee to get this seat, money, resources that come from taxpayers' money that have been corrupted, squandered by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs folks and Senator Darius DeLong and his folks at the Liberian Senate. And so this is the real issue. This is the real issue. For Liberian people, this is the real issue. Um, the UN Security Council seat, the two non-permanent seats, right? Or the five non-permanent seats of the UN Security Council that should be up from January 2026, right, uh, to December 31st, 2027. That is 2 years. People or countries that are contesting or that are bidding for those seats are going unopposed. So if the government talks about elections, Liberia is contesting. They mean to see Liberia is vying for. And so the real election was from the African group. The real uh, the real lobby was from the African group, right? The African group contains 54 member states of Africa, the African Union. And so this process started under George Manuel Weah. And first, uh, there was a there was a lobby from Liberia to ECOWAS, because the regional bloc. Once you are venturing into a process as a country, you get the backing of the regional bloc, okay, ECOWAS, the Mano River Union. And so Liberia went ahead under George Weah. That was in 2020, 2020, yes. Liberia sought the support of those countries from the Mano River Union and from ECOWAS, the 16-member bloc of ECOWAS. And ECOWAS, because the Mano River Union countries are also all members of ECOWAS. And so they sought the support of ECOWAS. And uh, ECOWAS to Liberia, ECOWAS assured our country that the entire regional bloc will throw their weight behind Liberia's bid for a UN non-permanent security council seat. And so the three countries were already in the bag. And Liberia went to the East African bloc in 2020, 2021, Central African, I mean, a bloc, South African bloc, the SADC, and we lobbied with them for their support. As a matter of fact, when the president of Liberia traveled to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to the African Union, that was in 2022, the African Union said, Africa was throwing its support behind the two representatives from the continent. Do you know the two representatives from the continent? The two representatives from the continent uh, are the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the DRC, and Liberia. Okay, so the African Union said, we are supporting you. You are our representatives to the UN Security Council. And this is something that you have to know. You have to understand. The United Nations Security Council has 15 seats, five permanent seats, and 10 non-permanent seats. The 10 non-permanent seats are on a rotational basis, right? So the United Nations said, we the five seats that are up for grab, the five seats that are to be apportioned will be apportioned like this: two for two for Africa, two for Africa, one for the Asia Pacific, one for Latin America, and one for the, the Eastern European Group, the EEG. So the UN said the two for Africa should decide who are their representatives. And so when Liberia came back to the African Union and they laid before the African Union that look, the two seats for Africa, we are interested in one. That was in 2021 under the administration of President George Weah. We are interested in one. The Democratic Republic of Congo said they are interested in one as well. Equatorial Guinea said they were interested in one. Guinea-Bissau said they were interested in one, and Morocco said they were also interested in one. So, five countries of Africa uh, expressed interest to the African Union that they were interested in the seat. Now, because had been interested in a Security Council seat from 2018, right? And so they did not get it. Those seats went to other African countries. The African Union told Liberia that look, by 2025, 2020, the seats for Africa that will be contested in 2025 and subsequently uh, inaugurated in 2026, we will give one to you. So, do you know who currently occupy the two seats that Liberia and DR Congo are supposed to occupy from 2026? Those two seats are being occupied by Algeria and Sierra Leone. Our bordering country, Sierra Leone, has one of the seats. So Sierra Leone seat supposed to come to Liberia. Algeria seat is supposed to go to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So nobody should deceive you that Liberia is contesting for seats. Liberia is not contesting against anybody for a seat on the UN Security Council. Liberia is Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo are Africa's representatives. It's not like somebody say your family, your family should nominate two people and then they will get the job. Then their family nominated those two people and they did not contest against anybody for the job. So that's how it looks like. So why would the government come to make the Liberian people to believe that Liberia is protesting for some kind of seat? The seat is already for Liberia. The seat is for Liberia. The seat is not being contested because we're going on the polls. But for the government to spend over 3.5 million on such a process that is already in the bag, on a seat that is already in the bag, is 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 is, is kind of counterproductive. It's not understandable. It's not understandable. Let me read further. Let me read further. It says Security Council elections 2025. On June 3, which is tomorrow, the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly is scheduled to hold elections for membership of the Security Council. The five seats available for election in 2025, according to the regular distribution among regions, will be as follows. The five seats that are available for election that are distributed amongst countries are as follows. One, two seats for the African group, currently being held by Algeria and Sierra Leone. So you see what I was talking about? The two seats that are given to Africa are currently being occupied by Algeria and Sierra Leone. Two, one seat for the group of Asia and the Pacific, small island developing states, which is the Asia Pacific, currently held by the Republic of Korea. So South Korea is the one occupying the seat that has been uh, allotted to the Asia Pacific. Three, one seat for the group of Asia, no, one seat for Latin America and the Caribbean group, GRULA, currently held by Guyana. So Guyana is GUYANA, that's a country in the in Latin America, in the Caribbean, Guyana. Okay, a small island, right? So this island country is the one occupying the seat that should go to Latin America. Then lastly, one seat for the Eastern European group, currently held by Slovenia. Slovenia is currently uh, holding the seat that should go to the Eastern European group. Now, let's something today. The 2025 candidates, five member states, Bahrain, Colombia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Latvia, and Liberia, are contesting the five seats that will be held tomorrow. Bahrain from Asia. Bahrain will be replacing the country, South Korea. Bahrain will be replacing South Korea. Okay. Colombia. Colombia will be replacing what? Guyana. Liberia and the Democratic Republic of the Congo will be replacing Algeria and Sierra Leone. Then what? Latvia will be replacing Slovenia because Latvia is in the Eastern European group. A seat that is currently being held by Slovenia. So this is the notation. All the regional groups, all the regional groups are running on an uncontested election this year. All regional groups are running in an uncontested election, meaning no country is running against them. Liberia is not being run against by any country because Africa already selected Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo from the number of countries from the continent that expressed interest. Country like Morocco, a country like Senegal, a country like uh, Guinea-Bissau, and Equatorial Guinea. Right. So amongst them, uh, ECOWAS said Liberia is our representatives. Uh, Central African Group said, how do you call it? Congo is our representative. East African Group said, Congo is our representative. And together, Africa as a whole, via the African Union, through a resolution, African Union said, the AU said, Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, by virtue of the fact that those two countries are members of the African Bloc, of the 54 countries by our representatives. And so we are sending you to represent the continent. Okay, now, uh, of those countries that are vying for the Security Council seat, those countries that are going to be elected tomorrow unopposed, if you look at the track record, they all have served before the UN Security Council except Latvia. Uh, Bahrain, for example, Bahrain served on the UN Security Council from 1998 to 1999. From January 1998 to December 1999, for 2 years. From January 1998 to December 1999. The two African representatives, Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic of Congo has served the UN Security Council twice on two occasions. They served from 1982 to 1983, and from 1990 to 1991. So the Democratic Republic of Congo, in a nutshell, served as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council from January 1982 to December 1983. And then from January 1990 to December 1991, they served two times on the UN Security Council. For Liberia, which is another member representative from the African Union, served on the UN Security Council in 1961. And during that time, our representative that was on that seat was uh, Her Excellency Ambassador Angie Brooks Randall. Angie Brooks Randall was Liberia's ambassador to the United Nations. Liberia was elected as a member of the UN Security Council. Angie Brooks Randall served as uh, Liberia's representative at the UN Security Council in 1961. The Latin American country, the Latin American and the Caribbean country, they have one seat, one representative that will be serving from 19, I mean from 2026 January to 2027 December. And that country is Colombia. Colombia has served on the UN Security Council from 1947 to 1948, from 1953 to 1954, from 1957 to 1958, from 1969 to 1970, from 1987 to 1990, from 1989 to 1990, from 2001 to 2002, and from 2011 to 2004. So Colombia, which is the low representative from the from Latin America, has served 7 times on the UN Security Council. This is their eighth time they are going to serve on the UN Security Council. So, the Eastern European Bloc representative, which is Latvia, that's going to be elected tomorrow on the post, has never served on the Security Council before. So they, they are having their inaugural service. They are having their their I mean this is their first time they're going to serve on the UN Security Council. That is Latvia. Okay. Now, um, what's going to shift the Security Council global dynamics in 2026 will be, for example, it will be to, the war in Ukraine, the conflict in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the the war between, the war in Korea and Myanmar, the situation in the Middle East, including the war in Palestine with Israel, and Russia's war with Ukraine. So those are the issues, and also the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the conflict in Sudan. Those are the issues that are going to set the global dynamics uh, that the UN Security Council will have to deal with in the 2 year term, the 2 year term of those that are going to be elected members of the UN Security Council, right? So those, they already have an agenda. The Security Council already have an agenda. The Security Council has an agenda in 2 years to resolve conflict in Ukraine with Russia, the conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Sudan, that is in Africa. I mean, the, the, the conflict in Myanmar, that formerly they used to call them Burma. The country was Burma, now it's Myanmar. The capital is Rangoon. Okay, then the conflict between the Koreas, North Korea and the South, right? So those are the, the conflicts that are going to shift the global dynamics, the international relations that the UN Security Council will have to deal with from 2026 to 2027. So let's come back to the country, Liberia, a country where 3.5 million has been swallowed already on an election that nobody is contesting against Liberia. And I think Senator DeLong has a lot of questions to answer. Senator DeLong has a lot of questions to answer. The folks at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have a lot of questions to answer. Sarah Briscoe Yanti, who's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, has put the public under the impression, she has put the country under the impression that Liberia needed to spend $5 million to get this seat. What kind of disloyalty to your country is that? What kind of corruption is that? What kind of stealing is that? That Bureau didn't need to lobby with 3.5 million. Who ate the money? Who ate the $3.5 million? The government approved and expanded for lobbying for a seat for Liberia at the UN Security Council. Who ate the money? Who ate the money? This is not appropriate. This is not appropriate. And those are the guys who will open the loud mouths under George Weah administration and say, uh, the government was corrupt, George Weah was this, George Weah was that, the government was this, the government was that. Liberia under George Weah did not spend a penny to lobby with anybody for a UN Security Council seat. I repeat, Liberia did not spend a penny to lobby with anyone for a seat for Liberia at the UN Security Council. The President of Liberia, then George Weah, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bill Maxwell Kimaya, the Chairman of Foreign Affairs, then Senator uh, uh, James Bonny, all of them together did not spend money to go and lobby for a UN Security Council seat. But today, the country has already spent over $3.5 million of taxpayers' money when in fact there is no dialysis machine at the JFK. The dialysis machine has given up at the JFK, but the government is spending $3.5 million. So today, anybody has kidney failure, kidney issue, you go to the JFK, you're going to die. Because the dialysis machine that President George Weah, because the two dialysis machines that were brought to the JFK are down. The government cannot buy new dialysis machine. I mean, patients are lying. Pregnant women are lying now at JFK in the corridors of the hospital and in pain. Listen to the horrific accounts of families expressing their ordeal about what they encountered at the JFK weeks ago, days ago, and even now, when everything at the JFK is going asunder, no beds, nothing. The government of Liberia is spending some 3.5 million US dollars for a UN Security Council seat that the country has already won. No need to lobby. The country is already selected by Africa as one of its representatives, alongside the Democratic Republic of Congo, to hold a UN Security Council seat for 2 years from January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2027 for 2 years. Why are you treating the people like this? Why are you treating the people like this? These are the people that elected you to the presidency. These are the people that brought the government to power. Did they commit a crime to elect the government? I don't think so. And Senator DeLon, one time self-imposed yourself as the light. You self-proclaimed yourself as the light in the Liberian Senate. Today, you are supporting, you are part of a scheme. You are part of a grand scheme that has robbed the country of over $3.5 million. And the first lady, when the first lady of the republic, Madam Katu Bakai, you go to her home, people are drinking from the creek. You spending 3.5 million United States dollars to get a UN Security Council seat that does not need to be lobbied for. What kind of a feckless government is this? Liberia is doomed. Is there anybody in this country? Is there any patriotic and nationalistic Liberian that wouldn't want the country to get a UN Security Council seat? I don't think so. Because even the former president, is still, the former president is still on the phone, uh, calling his friends and congratulating them and lobbying at the same time for the country to get a seat. So the deal is already done. You don't have to spend money for it. Who are you contesting against? Who is the country contesting against? Who is the country contesting against? We will see one assistant minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Karishma Pelamra, who will be in restaurants in Dubai, restaurants in the Caribbean, and I mean, lavishing taxpayers' money in the name of lobbying. Is it in the restaurant you can lobby for a UN Security Council seat? We see Sarah Besler Yanti traveling week in, week in, week out, having expensive dinners for a UN Security Council seat that is already in the bag. My Liberian people, my people from West Point, from Sonny Wayne, my people from Negro Town, Clara Town, Gibraltar, my people from Logan Town, Brewerville, the rest of the places. The government have stolen over $3.5 million to lobby for a seat that does not need any lobbying. A seat that is already for the country. A seat that is already in the bag. A seat that is already in the bag. You cannot treat the country like this. Then tomorrow the process will be consummated. The process will be done. When Liberia get the seat, it's not about if, it's about when. When Liberia gets the seat tomorrow, right? Regime apologists, members of the Unity Party will be perambulating and gallivanting on the social media all over the place on radio and saying, oh, it's Joe Baka. It is not true. This seat was already in the bag prior to Mr. Baka coming to power. My people, this seat is for Liberia. But if you have a government that came to power on the basis of lies and deception and feel that they can govern the country on lies, on deception, on propaganda, then it becomes a problem. Then it becomes a problem. Oh, yes, it's our first time. It is our first time getting a U.S. Security Council since 1961. Yes, the last time we got it was 1961 when Angie Brooks Randolph represented Liberia at the UN Security Council. Yes, we have not gotten it since Topman time in 1961. Okay, but we got into the process in 2019, 2020, and the country is being backed heavily by everyone. I I will tell you, Liberia will get more than 129 to 135 um, votes to get this seat, right? Despite, I mean, the vote is a formality. So if they say vote, don't think that anybody's running against Liberia. So if we say Liberia will get 129 to 135 votes, we mean people, I mean, countries will vote for Liberia unopposed. Unopposed, right? Liberia will get this seat, my people. Liberia will get this seat. So the $3.5 million that was spent, that was given to DeLon and his people, Sarah Beslo Yanti and her team at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, could have done more in this country. The $3.5 million could have done more for the country. The Liberian people need better. Their life need to get better. Of course, you cannot be coming here and telling us that you are running or contesting for a UN Security Council. No, we will not sit here to allow you to deceive the public. We wouldn't sit here to allow you to deceive the public. We are here. We are here and we are part of the intellectual class to inform our people. Our people depend on us on a daily basis to provide them information. It is not to depend on you for misinformation, for disinformation, and propaganda. To think that the state or the society is so gullible, so you will play on the intelligence of our people. No, Liberia is not a gullible society as you think anymore. Our people are, well, our people are getting so much educated, and education is not always entirely formal. Informal education is as well a kind of education that one needs to get enlightened. The Liberian people are much more sophisticated than what you think they are. Liberian people are much more sophisticated than who you think they are. We will talk it. We will say it. We will say it. No matter who feels offended, we will say it. The country is being robbed. The country is being scammed. My Liberian people, this is not politics. This is oblivious of politics. It is beyond politics. It is beyond politics. It's not a usual gimmicks that politicians will come and spew here. No. This is a reality, this is a starking reality that is confronting us, that is confronting our social, political, and economic condition, especially our socio-economic condition. We cannot let this slide, because if we let it slide, we will be complicit into it. Our complacency will not be put on record. That we colluded with a government to steal 3.5 million from the Liberian people to deceive them about a UN Security Council seat. If you are there, this is the CDC Hour you're listening to on Kings 88.5 and Cloud TV, and also on the social media, Facebook. You can tune into Kings FM and Cloud TV on Facebook to watch it live and direct, coming to you from the studio of the Kings FM. So if you're there, you can begin to call us now on 0772 239933, 0886 304497, or the lone female line on 0777980375. You can begin now to place your call, and we'll be right here to take them. If we don't have a call, we continue the program. So the seats, or the seat specifically that Liberia is going to occupy from January 2026 is the seat currently being occupied by Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, our neighbor, is the country that's currently occupying that seat. So Sierra Leone is going to vacate the seat in 2025, December 31. December 31, 2025, Sierra Leone's tenure as a UN Security Council non-permanent member will come to an end. Liberia will take over the next day on January 1, on New Year's Day, January 1. I think we have a caller. Let's go straight to the line. Good evening
Hello?
to you, and what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Tanshaw, West Point. You know, so long the government in power, money might be new the Camara. The government in power will not benefit from any good thing from cultural country. Before, when the F1 came here, Union Council people came here to call our president, our people need to go there to compromise for the things because they condemn it when they came here 2 times, 3 times. They never organize it. When they not even there, taking it to be human being. So we'll lose our seat. And we'll lose our seat. Now the losing coming from Ewa 2029, we will pick the
No, we will not. My Benny, we're not going to
Thank
lose the
you.
seat. We're not going to lose the seat. Okay, we lost her there. So if you are there, you can call us on 0772 239933 0886 3044 97 0777 exclusively the 077 number for female. So if you're there, you can place your call now, and we are here to take them. So we're not going to lose the seat. Hello? Yeah, hello?
Yeah, for some qualifications, they're getting for tomorrow completely.
Okay, let's hear you. This is the CDC Hour.
Yeah, that's enough like bro. Yes, I'm on the first edition. When I pray our former friends here, step in for us to get that seat. We need good things from Nigeria, just for the differences. I said, the ruling party see us to be non-human being, they see us to be people, and it's not educated. They call on nobody. We pray that we get the non-permanent seat. That we celebrate to shine again. We know our time will come, and just by it will come. 2029 will come back. But then let us pray. We like I said, we're not lead there. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Let's take another call. Good evening, and what's your name and where you calling? Yes, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. Are you getting me?
I'm getting you loud and clear. Welcome to the CDC Hour.
Thank you so much. This is the process for the Nigerian global movement. We have that well. I think some of you are already done. I want to say to you. CDC is responsible for this community you are getting out now. Even if you want to go for it, you guys are going to get it. So you can look it. And you guys are now right here. The post that it's supposed to be 5 million for loving for this seat. And you guys know that it was not a truth. When someone came to say no, the people they say, hey, even the road driver that go on the person that don't want to in the road. You that door for you, you said I will appreciate you. But other people on the end there, they got to come on the front, and say, the people will stop. But you guys are not doing it. You say, they open up way. But you say, oh, it's not there. And I want you not doing it. But you see, any person you're getting now, hey, after me, it's coming out. See that? And you're happening. Even if you have the money, it's somebody paying you too. It's not for it, not pay money. But now you put the pay money, you got to order, and the people, you know, that will come to start it. And you do it, you know, they know they don't get it. And all people believe. Someone in say out there, they're putting the people and giving to the public will be the right thing. But let's send that on it, and the last minute time they say giving it out, it will not be good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We respect your opinion. Do we have another caller? Hello? Okay, so we are going to get a seat. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Ishaka Sharif.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the CDC Hour.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity for my health. Yeah. Well, my name is Mohammed Donji Fafana Jr. But I do join you guys on the Tamara Drive. It was guys at the manufactured the Mazingo. Yeah. Uh,
Be snappy. Be
yeah,
snappy.
Ishaka, I would like to appreciate you and appreciate the family of Freedom and Kansas and for propagating person we are because he is in space Africa and space of Africa. You know, he fought for this Syria and by the grace of God we're gonna win this series. Not because the series will be presented like God honor the uniparty government. But the uniparty government know that we fought for this Syria and this series will be presented for, for our country. So I would like to appreciate you, and I want to concentrate more in the hurricane of the CDC to come on social platforms to educate Liberian people.
Okay, there are more calls coming. Make it snappy. The line is pausing, so.
Okay. Thank you. I gotta leave.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. Yes, let's hear you. Let's hear you.
I'm Chala Mola calling from Gary Street.
Yes, welcome to the CDC Hour.
Yeah. Well, I got my mom. Why is it that all the time when we're looking to get our money, like $3 million, the North tomorrow, the public to be aware to the account they start. I want to see your problem with.
Why you get problem with? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, this is Hour.
Yes, let's hear you. Welcome.
The two of me are saying that one because they don't care the money.
Mabenu?
Eh?
Mabenu?
Yeah, Mabenu.
Mabenu will get a seed, yeah? We'll get a seed that it's for the country. It's for the country.
We'll get a seed?
Yeah, we'll get a seed. We'll get a seed because we'll get a seed for only one reason. We're getting a seed because Joe, we did everything for us to get it. People didn't do anything.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello? So you listen to the callers. They are very passionate about Liberia getting this seed, despite some of them are seditious. But it's about the country, especially when it is a George Weah legacy. A George Weah legacy that he started. Let's take this caller. Hello?
Yeah, Ichaka.
Yes, welcome to the CDC Hour.
Yeah, this is my water purple defender.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, Ichaka, you know, so I want to pay our listening room concerning about the seed business. Because of the sake of the country. Because we have said everything for us to get a seed. But you know, people don't pray for Igbo for their own country. But because of United Party business, because we have laid everything to get a seat. But tomorrow morning they say that Joseph Boaka, everything that we have did, the 6 years that he put down, nowhere the people went, even recognize to say, oh, they think that Joseph started it. So a new man won't be that feel we're not getting on Joseph Boaka. Thank you.
I beg you, we already got it, yeah? So the groundwork was laid. The foundation was laid. It was laid, and the construction of this thing, of this process was done and taken to over 95% before George Weah left power in 2024. So if anybody thinks that they are the ones that are making Liberia to get this seat, it is a deception. It is not possible. It is not even possible to to ask for a UN Security Council seat for 1 year and the next year you get it. This started since 2019. Since 2019, you listen to the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador D. Maxwell Kimaya. He said this thing started 2019. Okay? And all of the time he was at the United Nations, I think for 5 or 7 months, as Liberia's permanent representative, he said they dealt with this thing, and he came back to become Minister of Foreign Affairs, and the whole thing intensified. He made sure he represented the country and getting a lot of Novembers, written Novembers to different governments to support Liberia's bid. And it paid off up to 95% when George Weah left on January 22, 2024. So this thing is in the bag, my people. Liberia has gotten the seed. There is no need to, in fact, as a Liberian, this is what I feel. Despite being a sedition, right? A staunch one too. But as a Liberian, let's take this call. Hello?
Yeah, good evening, Ishaka.
Yes, good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Mohammed once again. Well, I just want to send a caveat to the people from the other. Yeah, I just want to send a caveat to the people to the other side tomorrow. If we win it, the team tomorrow, I don't want them to plaster on social media by saying, "Oh, like bro, winner, Boga do this, Boga do this."
Okay, so we have lost you. So, as a passionate Liberian, a patriotic one, a nationalistic Liberian, I would want for Liberia to win the seat, like we have already won it. Okay, but truth be told, give Caesar what is Caesar's, right? So this thing, the credit should go to the CDC administration. It is not a difficult thing to do. No, it is not. When George Weah became president 2018, when George Weah became president 2018, the second phase of the Somalia draft road had just been completed. What did he do? He called President Sharif. He said, Madam, this is your project. This is your legacy. Come and dedicate this road because you are the one who started it. And so we saw the construction of canopy at Simenko, from Simenko all the way to around Freeport there. Okay, a very colorful program attended by the Japanese ambassador, by senior government officials, attended by a lot of different people, the diplomatic corps. But George Weah, as president of Liberia, invited Madam Shirley, say, Madam, this is your project, dedicate it, cut the ribbon. And Madam Shirley did right that. Okay? The ministerial complex. Call? Okay. The ministerial complex, when it was being dedicated, President George Weah called Madam Shirley and said, Madam, this is your project. Come and dedicate it. And Madam Shirley went there, and that project was dedicated. The ribbon was cut because the completion was done in George Weah's regime, but it was Madam Shirley who took it to more than 95%, like the scenario right now. So, my people in Radio Land, Mawata, Mamusu, everybody, this is a George Weah legacy for Liberia to have gotten a UN Security Council seat. This is what we had to discuss today. My name is Ishaka Sharif. This is the CDC Hour. I will be here with a fresh edition on Wednesday. Until then, I say bye-bye.
Liberia, Jovia, 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 Jovia.
Double.
Trigger.
Aha, y'all want it good. Put the giant right at the dick.
Like
y'all want it